Today, we're traveling to one of the most remote places on Earth, the Pitcairn Islands. They're so far away, located about 5,000 kilometers from New Zealand and over 5,000 kilometers from South America. These islands are the last British colony in the Pacific Ocean, and getting there is not easy. But what makes these islands really interesting is their tough history. The story of the Pitcairn Islands begins back in 1790, when a British ship called the HMS Bounty was involved in a mutiny. A mutiny is when the crew members take control of the ship from the captain. The Bounty was sent to deliver supplies to British colonies in the Pacific. But some of the sailors on board fell in love with the local women and didn't want to return to Britain. So, a group of them, led by a man named Fletcher Christian, took control of the ship and forced the captain and his loyal crew to leave the ship on a small boat. The mutineers knew that they would be in big trouble if they returned to Britain, so they decided to run away and find a hidden place. They had heard about an island called Pitcairn, which was on British maps, but its location was wrong. After searching for a long time, they finally found it in January 1790. The mutineers landed on Pitcairn Island and decided to live there. They even burned their ship so no one could find them. Over time, they built a settlement and started a new life away from the rest of the world. The mutineers were made up of 9 Europeans, 6 Polynesian men, and 12 Polynesian women. But things didn't stay peaceful for long. There was a big problem. Each European man took a Polynesian woman as his wife, but the 6 Polynesian men had to share the remaining 3 women. This caused a lot of tension and anger between the people on the island. As time passed, the situation got worse, and soon, the island was filled with fighting and violence. In the end, only one of the mutineers survived. The story of Pitcairn is a story of survival, loyalty, and the challenges of living in isolation. It shows how hard it can be to survive in a place so far away from the rest of the world. And that's how a group of mutineers ended up creating the history of the Pitcairn Islands, one of the most isolated places on Earth. After a while, things on the island got even worse. The wife of a man named John Williams, who was the blacksmith, passed away. John then took one of the Polynesian women for himself, which made the Polynesians very angry. This led to a fight, and in the end, the Polynesians killed John Williams and 3 other Europeans. The Europeans then took revenge by killing 3 of the Polynesians. After these fights, the remaining Europeans started drinking a lot. They learned how to make alcohol from a plant called the club lily, which grew on the island. Sadly, this only made things worse. They got into more arguments, accidents, and there were more deaths. By 1810, just 10 years after the mutineers first arrived, only 1 European man was left. His name was John Adams. He had 10 Polynesian women and 23 children with him. John decided that there would be no more alcohol on the island. He became a strong believer in Christianity, and because of this, he is now considered the founding father of the Pitcairn Islands. In 1808, a whaling ship from America found the Pitcairn Islands. A few years later, 2 British warships also discovered the island. They were amazed by how peaceful and religious the people were, so they decided not to punish John Adams. The British did claim the islands as their colony, and they still do today. Over the years, many people left the Pitcairn Islands because of natural disasters. But some returned, and today, about 50 people still live on the island. They're all descendants of the original mutineers and their families. The people on Pitcairn live close together as a strong community. They have their own traditions and even their own language called Pieria, which is a mix of English and other languages. The British government actually wants people to move to the island. If you do, they'll give you a free piece of land and even let you live there without paying taxes. The island has internet now too, though it's still a little slow. But even with all of this, not many people have decided to move there because the journey to the island is so long and difficult. However, some people do visit Pitcairn. In recent years, even cruise ships have started coming to the island, helping the local economy. But still, Pitcairn remains a place for true adventurers. Pitcairn has actually been in a competition with another island, Tristan da Cunha, to be the most isolated island in the world. But because of how far Pitcairn is from the nearest land, it's clear that it's the winner. I might even make a video about Tristan da Cunha soon, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about Pitcairn or other cool places, don't forget to like and subscribe.